Yes.
All right. So thanks everyone. Thanks for joining this demo. In this demo, we are going to talk about CES certification and we'll show the lab as well. So before starting to demo, I just want to give my introduction. So my name is Amar. I'm part of Netminion. I have 15 plus of year experience and I have experience in cybersecurity around 7 years. And before cybersecurity, I was in network security. So yeah, before starting to this CEH, do you know what is a cybersecurity or you know, let's have the introduction first, right? So I may start introduction from Freya. Freya, if you can introduce yourself. Anyone, any volunteer? All right, so I'm skipping the introduction. Let me just start with this demo. So let me just talk about the CEH. So if I talk about CEH is a certified ethical certification. This certification offered by EC Council, right? So EC Council is one of the organization which work in ethical hacking training. Okay, so they have a training, they have a certification. So CH is one of their certification. So it's a very famous certification. And if I talk about the exam of this certification details, so currently CH having CH version 12. And for this certification exam is 4 hours. Number of question would be 125. Exam format would be multiple choice question, and you can give the exam on the digital application. So they have the website. So using their online website, you can give the exam, right? And during the exam, you can take the break, but for that you have to take the permission from proctor. Moving to next, if I talk about the target audience who should do this certification. So certification should be done by the, I mean, if you are security analyst or administrator, you can go for certification. Like if you are working on information assurance as a security officer, so you can go for certification. If you are in security manager specialist, you can go for that. Even though if you are working as an information security professional, you can go for the certification, or this certification is suitable for the IT security auditors, okay, risk managers, or threat analyst, vulnerability analyst. They can go for certification. Or if you are server system administrator, or if you are network administrator, you can go for the certification. To have this certification, you should have a 2 year of experience. Okay, and these are the topics that is covered in this certification. So total we have 20 module. So in first module, you are going to understand what is ethical hacking. Okay, so here you would be understanding the difference between hacking and ethical hacking. After that, we will talk about the footprinting and reconnaissance. Okay, so here in footprinting, we are going to talk about how we can collect the information about target. Okay, so whatever the target you would selecting for the ethical hacking, for that you can do the footprinting and you can do the reconnaissance. Further, we will talk about the scanning. So here you are going to do active scanning. Then we are going to talk about enumeration. Then we are going to talk about vulnerability analysis of that target. Then we will talk about the system hacking. Then we will talk about malware threats, sniffing, then social engineering. So social engineering is very famous for phishing type of attack. So how you can do the social engineering with that, we are going to discuss there. And then we will talk about denial of service attack, which is DOS attack or DDoS attack. So we will talk about them. And then we will talk about the session hijacking. Then we will talk about the IDS, what is IDS and how you can invade IDS, firewall or honeypots. And then we will talk about the hacking web server, how you can hack the web server. hacking web application, how you can hack web application. So there is a difference between web server and web application. Web application is basically is the application which is running on the top of web server. So you can hack the server either using application. So if the application has the admin level access and application has vulnerability, so you can access the application, you can hack the application. If application is using any database, you can expose the databases, right? So that you can do either, or you can directly hack the web server. So here we will talk about that, how you can hack web server and how you can hack application. Then we will talk about SQL injection. Okay. And post SQL injection, we will talk about the hacking of wireless network. So here we are going to talk about how you can do the penetration testing on the wireless network. If there is any weakness on the wireless network, how you can leverage that. So here we are going to hack, basically going to show you demo of ethical hacking in the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. So that is going to cover over here. And then we will discuss about the hacking mobile platform. Okay, so how you can hack Android, how you can hack iOS, those mobile operating system using different application, right? So we will talk about that. Then we will talk about IoT hacking and cloud computing. We are going to discuss in the cloud computing what are the threats you can use, what are the exploit you can use for the cloud computing world to hack the cloud infrastructure or penetrate the cloud infrastructure. And finally, we will talk about the cryptography. So these are the topics we are going to cover in entire module. If about I talk about this course duration, so total course duration would be 1.5 month. Okay, so usually it would be 40 to 50 hour, 40 to 45 hours it would be. Okay, so we would have a weekend slots available for this CEH batch. So you can choose, and within the 40 or 45 hour, we are going to finish this. We will finish this module. Any question from anyone? So if there is no question, let me talk about the lab. So let me show you the lab, how we are going to cover this. So basically this is our lab. Okay, you can access the lab using labs.netminion.net. This is our website. And if you uh, click on here labs.netminion.net, it would ask you to access the lab. Once you click on the lab is going to open for you. And these are the system that we can use. So here we have a server, we have a client machine, and here we have a Linux system which is used for ethical hacking. So you can turn on or turn off device by right clicking on that. For example, I just want to stop this, so I can right click and stop that, and then right click, then start this. And once I click on, I want to open any particular device, so I can click over here and I should be able to access the device. Like this, we have terminal open. Hold on, let me click here, reconnect, let me log out. So once you access your labs.netminion.net, you need to provide username and password. Once you provide username and password, you can log in here. And then if you click on the access lab, you can access the lab. And here are the device in the lab. If you want to open any particular device, you just need to click on that device, and that is going to show over here. If you want to maximize this, you can click here and maximize. And here you can see your device is open. Okay, so we will be using Kali Linux for the entire penetration testing and some tool as well. Why I have chosen Kali Linux? Because in Kali Linux, you would be able to see so many tools available for the penetration testing. For example, if I just want to do information gathering, okay, which is part of reconnaissance. So I can click over here, and there are different type of tool that I can use for the information gathering. So one of the tool is Nmap. This is used for the network scanning. So I can use Nmap tool for the network scanning. Similarly, we have vulnerability analysis tool. So we have different type of tools for the vulnerability analysis. Web application analysis, if you want to analyze the web application, okay. Why need to analyze? Because if you want to do any kind of attack on the web application, or if you want to do stress testing of the web application or penetration testing of the web application, so you can do using these kind of tools. So burp suite is one of the very famous tools that you can use for the creation of for web application attack. Similarly, if you want to do database scanning, so we have SQL map is one of the tool using which you can do the database assessment. You can hack the databases. Similarly, password attacks, wireless attacks, we have different tool is available for different type of attacks. So you can use these tools to generate different type of attacks. That's why I have used Kali Linux. Else, if you don't use Kali Linux, so you can use third-party tool as well. For example, Acunetics is one of the tool for website penetration testing, and you can use those tools for the hacking. Now, so this is our lab. Okay, here you can see one of the Kali Linux. Other side you can see we have Windows machine. So what we will do in our demo. So Windows machine is going to work here as a victim, and Kali Linux is going to work here as a penetration testing machine. So using this, what I would do, I would send the attack from here to these Windows machine or server, and we will see that if we would be able to hack these machines or not. So I'm just going to show you sample. For example, I just want to gather the information about my targets, and I don't know about them. So what I would do, I can run some of the tool for the network discovery. So one of the tool, I have a net discover tool in the Kali Linux. So for that, I can run the command net discover, and then if I just want to discover a particular range, so I can discover that. So for example, I just want to see that what is my IP address, and I just want to discover all the network PC which is on this system network. So I can discover using net discover tool. So using ifconfig, I can know what is my IP address. My IP address is 192.168.1.43, and subnet mask is this. So if I just want to discover entire PC, all the PC on this network, how I can run the command? I can run the command sudo super user do net discover, and then I can put the R because I just want to discover entire range, and then IP address 1.0/24. So this entire range I just want to discover that on this entire range, what are the all the system is live. So once I would click over here, it is asking the super user password. I'm putting that. And after that, you would see after some time, it is going to start the discovery. And in some time, you would be able to see whatever the PCR lives, all the PC information you can see over here. So let's wait. Meanwhile, this is discovering. It should be showing all the active system in this particular network. It's trying to discover. So far it has haven't okay. So far it has discovered this much PC. So you can see we have 1.1. It's not able to understand that which vendor that is, but it is able to discover some of the PC. So I just want that. What is this 1.56? I just want to know that this particular PC information. So I can stop this, and now I can use nmap to know the operating system of this machine. So let's know the operating system of this machine using nmap command. This is again another tool which is used for the information gathering. If you click over here, and if you click on information gathering, you can see nmap tool is used for the information gathering itself. So right now we are gathering the information. So far what we have done, using net discover, we understand that what all the PC active on this particular network. And now I just want to know about particular PC information. So using nmap, I can do that. So I would use the command nmap -a -o -v -p. And then I just want to discover all the port from 1 to 1000, and then IP address. Which IP address? This IP address I'm taking, this one. So it would try to discover, discover the network, discover more about this particular PC. But for that, I need to run sudo command. Then it is going to work. So it would be able to understand what is the operating system of that device. Okay, so you can see here what it has been identified. So it is showing that that is Windows 7 professional device. Okay. And on that device name is Suraj PC. Okay. And here it is showing the entire detail about that device. What all the port is open. It is showing me all those information. So you can see it is showing that which port is open. So MSRPC, NetBIOS, SSL, HTTP, these are the port open. And if you want to know the port number for this, so here you can see this is a port number. These are the services, and this is port number. This is showing as a open. Okay, so now it is showing all the information about that. On this, there is a Apache is also installed. Apache HTTP version is installed. So it is showing that it is running on a port number 80. So this is the information it is showing, and based on the information, you can discover the vulnerability and then you can exploit that. So for example, I just want to know that whether this is vulnerable for SMB vulnerability, because you would be able to see SMB port is already open on this machine. This is the SMB port. So this is the SMB port. So this is, let's see if on this port SMB vulnerability is there. So if the vulnerability of SMB would be there, I should be able to see. So if you want to see the SMB vulnerability or any vulnerability, so you can run the command sudo nmap, and for that you can use the script command to find out the vulnerability. So which vulnerability I just want to see? All the SMB vulnerability I just want. So if that would be vulnerable, it would be showing me for port number 445 and then IP address. What was the IP address of this machine? This was the IP address. So let me paste over here. So it would be able to see the vulnerability 192.168.1.55. Why this is giving error? Sudo nmf hyphen script. Okay, spelling mistake. So it's trying to find out the vulnerability. If there is any vulnerability, it should be able to show me. It's showing that this 55 is down. What is the 56 is the IP. So I would put 56 IP over here, and now it would try to discover the vulnerability. And once I would be able to find the vulnerability, I should be able to run the exploit over here. So this is not vulnerable for, port number SMB vulnerability, right? But if it would have vulnerable, I should be able to, exploit this system. So this is how you can do the discovery. This is how you can, uh, you know, find the vulnerability. Okay. And once you find the vulnerability, you can exploit that. For exploit, you can use MSF console, that is meta exploit. And for a particular vulnerability, you can find the, for example, if it would have a vulnerable for MS 110.054. So for this vulnerability, you should be able to see, any exploit. So for example, I just want to search for exploit for that vulnerability. So I would run the command search and then the vulnerability, particular vulnerability exploit. If I run this, I should be able to see some exploit against this vulnerability. Exploit is not available. So maybe I can try to search something else like 17_010. Any MS type of vulnerability I just want to search this. So you could search the exploit, and if you want to use the exploit, so for example, I just want to use this exploit, so I can run the command use 0, and then I can run the command show options to see that what the parameter I need to set for that exploit. So I need to set these parameters. Let me show you. Show options. So I need to set all these parameters over here. For example, I need to set here remote host. That option I need to set. It is showing that this option is not set. So for example, I just want to exploit any particular host. So I can run the command set host, set R host. And then host IP address 192.168.1.56. And after this, if I run exploit, I can run the command show options again. And if I run the exploit, if that system would be vulnerable, I should be able to see MetaPrater session over here. However, the MetaPrater session is not opening, right? Because that system is not vulnerable. So during the lab, what we will do, I mean, during the actual training, we will make this system as exploitable. Okay. And then we will try to exploit. So we will install different type of application on this machine. For example, we will install some vulnerable web application and we will try to exploit that. Okay, so that's all I had in this demo. If you have any question, you can ask me. Anyone have any question? Okay, so if there is no question, let me wind up this session. And yeah, hopefully we will see you in the